What's up, everyone? It's Lord Ryujin here, your friendly neighborhood gamer, retro collector, all-around geeky guy. Wanted to bring you another YouTube video, and I want to do something different for this video, something that I usually don't do. I want to talk about one of my favorite things that I found from my collecting, and that was for the Nintendo 64. The Nintendo 64 had a lot of interesting accessories, such as the tilt pack and the transfer pack, all of which had different functions and stuff like that. And of course, everybody knows it had memory, and it had a rumble pack, oftentimes in which you had to switch, and there were some solutions for it, none of which were really that, at least to me, that great. But I did find one at a Goodwill one time that came with, there was two controllers, and I ended up getting the see-through purple one, but I got this with it as well, because I just kind of popped it in there, and they just included it with the price of the controller. But enough about talking about that. It is a Nyko HyperMax 8. Now, if you've never seen one of these before, this is a really great accessory for your Nintendo 64. And I'm about to explain why, because it's something that I didn't even know about, but it's something that has come in a lot of handy, and I tell you, this is really the only accessory that you'll probably ever need for your Nintendo 64. And what I'm talking about exactly is the fact is that it is called the HyperMax 8 for a reason, because if you can see here, there are four, and actually there's only really two, but there's four switches, one on each side. And I'm going to go through them to explain why this is so great. I mean, you do need a set of AAA batteries, but honestly, this thing consumes so little battery life that it's probably going to be the only set of batteries you're ever going to need to put in this thing, unless you use it a lot. But what there are is at the top, there's A and B. And A and B are essentially the rumbles of the thing. So it's basically a memory card and a rumble pack in one. And I know that to some people that's not that great. I mean, there's a lot of other accessories that do that. But with this one, it has settings 1 through 4 on here. So at A1, you're talking about a regular rumble pack. And then you still have A2, A3, A4, and all that stuff. And then at B, it is 1.5 times stronger than what a typical N64 rumble pack is, which automatically, to me, is like, cool. And then, of course, you got settings 1 through 4 on that as far as how light and how heavy you want that to be. So that's really cool there. But the best function of this controller are the bottom two slots, M1 and M2, memory cards. 2 memory cards in one. So basically this thing is like having 2 rumble packs and 2 memory cards in one. And that's the reason why it's so great, because rather than having to have 4 different controllers or keep swapping out between them, all you need is just one thing in there. If you run out of memory on slot 1, you just go to slot 2. And it's that simple. Now you've got a fresh blank one. Then you go to slot 3, and it's the same thing. Slot 4 is the same thing. To where you will never run out of memory. We're talking 984 blocks is what I believe is what I clocked it in at, or what I had to look online to find out. Right around 1,000 blocks for your Nintendo 64. And if you know the size of games, that's pretty much going to be just about anything you're ever going to want to play. And even if, by chance, you do go through that much memory, by the time you get to memory 2, slot 4, you're probably not even going to be playing or care about whatever's on memory 1, slot 1. So it's a really great accessory, and I wanted to share it with you. I don't really know why. I just felt like doing a video and talking about this great accessory. To me, it's one of the best finds that I have found in a long time, especially for the Nintendo 64, which is very hard to find nowadays, at least in my area. A lot of the older retro systems are getting harder to find. It's easier to find Wii and Xbox 360 games and stuff like that. Anything that's old school, like a Dreamcast, or anything that's even cartridge-based, is really difficult to find around here nowadays. So I thought this was a really cool find, and I got it with a controller as well, brand new controller. Really awesome. But that's my 2 cents, guys. Make sure that you put down your thoughts about this cool accessory, as well as put down in the comments any cool accessories that you may have found on your retro hunting journeys. I'm Lord Ryujin. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you next time.